seeing so many people being so obsessed with like Chinese social media apps, and everybody's like downloading REDnotes, and I'm just like, you guys have no idea what you're dealing with. You guys have no idea who you're helping. Like, you have someone here who was born and raised in this country, seeing how things work, seeing how people deal with each other, seeing how the business and everything operate. And I'm telling you, be really careful. Hi, happy 2025. This is my first video this year. Did I expect that to make a video like this? No. This was very unexpected, unscheduled, unscripted. But I feel like as someone who's holding a Chinese passport, it is my responsibility to address something so that people can understand better about what they're getting themselves into. So without further ado, let's start today's video. If you don't know what's going on, to keep it short, basically the US is officially banning TikTok. I don't know if there's gonna be like a plot twist at the end, but for now, as far as we know, TikTok is officially leaving the US in just a few days. And a lot of TikTokers are pissed, which I understand. Like, I'm not saying like you shouldn't be pissed, because I know there's a lot of people who make money on TikTok. It's like their money income, you know. And some people are saying like the government could have used the money to do so many other things, you know, fix so many problems. Like, people are not making enough money, and the price increase of food and everything is like insane. And now you're taking away my money resource, my income. I get those people. I understand that. About TikTok, I'm not gonna give too many comments on it because the whole TikTok situation is a little bit complicated. But the thing is, where do people go? So now people are trying to look for alternative apps. And now a lot of people are going very extreme, saying like, oh, I don't care if China is stealing my data, like China take my package, like you took good care of me on TikTok, blah blah blah, you know, things like that. I don't think you guys know what you're talking about. Like, I don't think you guys understand how data privacy or media in general works in China. It's very different from the West. And at this moment, we're talking, a lot of TikTokers or people are actually downloading a Chinese app called Red. They want to use this app as the alternative after TikTok is banned. But today I'm here to tell you Red is very, very, very different than the TikTok that you're familiar with. I'm not just talking about the user interface, the user experience. I'm talking about how the tech behind it works and how it could potentially damage you and your country. As we know, Red is a Chinese social media company. The major difference of Red and TikTok is Red is an 100% Chinese social media company. TikTok is not. And I know some people are gonna say, why does it matter? Like, why does it matter if my data is stolen by a Chinese company? And why is it so different than like the West? Because the West is doing the same, like, you know, Facebook. They're also stealing people's data and stuff as well. The thing is, if you are in China, if you know anybody who are currently living in China, you know, who happen to have their own company, they would know if you want to register a company in China, you will have to work with the government when they request you to. And Red, as a big media company, there is just no way like they are not working with the government. This is not even a negotiation. This is not even like a deal. This is like, I'm giving you this order, you have to obey, you have to follow. This is how things work in China. And when it comes to why does it matter? Well, I can give you a very simple example. It could potentially influence your political views. Let's say if you are someone who's really young, underage, you are not LGBT, but you also don't really like hate LGBT or something. You're just in the middle ground. You're still like undecided, you know, about like how to feel towards a group of people who are sort of different than you when it comes to lifestyles and, you know, love of the choice and stuff like that. And a social media app can just decide, oh, today I'm just gonna push maybe like 10 videos of, oh, how LGBT people are disgusting to your feed. And as a user, you would never know. You would just, you know, keep on browsing. Maybe you would watch that 10 videos that are very like anti-LGBT. Or let's say if you are a Trump supporter, as a social media app, it's very easy for the platform to understand, to learn like you like Donald Trump. But if those people who are working in social media companies, they want to do dirty or do Donald Trump dirty, they can just decide, oh, today I'm just gonna push 10 like why Donald Trump is so bad, you know, like he's committed this crime, he's committed that crime videos. Like I can just push 10 videos to your feed and you're gonna watch them, and suddenly you feel like, oh, maybe Donald Trump isn't that good, you know, like he's a criminal, blah blah blah, you know. And unlike platforms like YouTube, China is a one-party political system, and those Chinese social media companies work directly under the government, so they wouldn't encourage you or let you publish a lot of like bold contents as well. So let's say on YouTube, you can watch a tons of different videos with different political views. You can have people who are very supportive of LGBT, but you can also have people who are very like abortion should be illegal, like it's only men and women. Like you can easily find these two types of channels. But in China, things are just a little bit different. Oftentimes, you can only find one side of views, and that side of views is the views that the government wants people to see. So the moment you start getting yourself more and more into this like Chinese media circle, you started thinking like, oh, China is so great, China is so beautiful, China is so peaceful, China is like this and that, you know. You started getting into this like bubble, this like illusion of China is exactly the way you see on those apps, which is completely not true. For those people who have different views, different lifestyles, different love choices and stuff, they will be gone. And what do you mean they will be gone? Well, let's talk about censorship. Although Western companies, for example, Meta, also have like censorship and stuff, but it's very different than how things work in China. Let's say for this LGBT thing. In China, if you are a LGBT person, you wanna be on social media. Let's say you pick REDnote or Douyin, which is the Chinese version of TikTok. You feel like as an LGBT person, you have things to say, you have, you know, idea to spread, to influence people. But here's the thing, as an LGBT person, the only content that you can make on platforms like this is you either turn yourself into memes, which means you have to, let's say as a boy, you make very sissy contents, like boys wearing heels, you know, boys acting like a girl, talking like a girl and stuff like that, and girls doing the opposite, you know, talking like a man, short haircut, and like giving this like boyish look, you know, boyish attitude and stuff like that, to make people feel like, oh my god, this is so hilarious, this is so funny. So basically you turn yourself into a meme, because everything you're acting is the stereotypes that people think when it comes to LGBT people. But if you want to talk about serious LGBT issues such as LGBT rights, LGBT marriage, your videos will get either banned or removed or hidden from others, so no one could see what you posted. And the other type of content LGBT people get to make is to slightly address simple facts without getting like too deep into the knowledge, such as they can try to tell people they're gay, they like men, they're lesbian, they like women, or they are trans, they have done their surgeries or not, but they cannot dig into their identities and stuff like that too seriously. They can only address the topic as an individual thing, not like a social issue, which goes back to like, you know, the marriage thing, like how they survive in the society, especially for trans women. So anything that's above you is gonna be hard to talk about. But I'm sure some influencers have found their ways to maybe like change the word they use, like, you know, they wouldn't put it out so obviously, use the words accurately. They would like change the characters and stuff like that just to, you know, to send out the message. But the thing is just like, you shouldn't have to do that, you know. But this is just how Chinese media works for LGBT people. And you were saying, oh, you keep on talking about LGBT because you're one of the LGBT group, like that's the only thing you care about, you know. But I don't give a shit, like I'm just gonna use platforms like this. Well, I'm gonna give you more examples now, okay? Let's say if you are a black person. Now a lot of us have known how Chinese people think about black people. Even if you are an American black person, they would still think you are African. No matter how many times you try to educate Chinese people, some people will still think, oh, you are still African, you are from Africa. You are not American, even if you were born in America. And Africans all have these like disease and stuff, you know, like you don't take showers and stuff like that. That's the exact things that I've heard from those people's mouths to my black friends, okay? So just a few days ago, there was this black guy, influencer. He was living in China for about a decade, and he made this video on WeChat channel. WeChat is another Chinese social media company, I think by far the largest one in China. He basically made a video addressing the racism issue in China and saying that he's not afraid of racism in China. All the hate comments would only make him stronger. He was not really targeting the government or anything like that. He was only posting those very, very negative, very nasty comments that Chinese people left under his videos. He didn't even say things like, oh, I hate China, I hate Chinese, you know. He was actually being very logical and polite. He was only talking about his personal experience in China and personal feelings and challenges while living here and facing the racism and discrimination. And that video kind of went viral on several Chinese social media platforms. And I liked the video so much, I even reposted on my WeChat. I said, being black is the same as being white, being yellow, being brown. Skin tones don't define a person's quality of education and manners. I wish more Chinese could realize that. But guess what? The video is now gone. It's taken down. This is China. And I'm not saying like his video on all the platforms are gone, okay? Different platforms will do things differently, you know? But it's just that the point is just like, you never know. You never know. Anything you say, if it's like too sensitive or if it goes like too viral, it could be deleted. It could be hidden from others and no one could see your post. And you don't even realize people cannot see your post. All you're thinking is just like, oh, my post is just not as popular. People like disagree with me or something. So that's why they're not, you know, clicking the like, they are not commenting, you know. But no, your post is just gone. And this is the other example I can show you now, which I had actually talked about a few videos back. So a few months ago, back in October, we had Halloween, right? And Halloween, being a Western festival, was something that the Chinese government didn't want people to celebrate. So I posted something on my WeChat saying, true horror, Halloween in Shanghai is officially banned. And it is true. You see, you have all the police on the street in Shanghai. They were there to stop people from gathering. This was all over the internet. And as you can see here, no like, no comment, no anything. And maybe you will think, oh, maybe people just don't care, you know? But the thing is, I have a lot of connections on my WeChat. There is, like anything I post, people will like and comment. There is no way that I'm getting 0 like and 0 comment. I'm not trying to say I'm like such an influencer, but it's just like, I have many friends on WeChat, okay? That's just the fact. And so I asked a few friends, I said like, hey, can you see this post? Like, can you see what I posted, you know? No, nada, absolute nada. Everybody who was living inside China could not view the post. Ironically, people who were living outside of China could view the post. And I'm just like, what is going on? So this is what they're very smart about, you know? They can censor the post within China. They make Chinese people think like this was not talked about. This was not important. This, nobody cared. But the thing is, many people were trying to voice their opinions. They were trying to be like, oh, but I do want to celebrate, but I do want to do this, but I do want to do that, you know? I don't agree with what you guys decided. But the thing is, we cannot reach to one another. Like, it's just like we are completely isolated. And for people who were living outside of China, they were able to see the post. So they would be like, oh, it's not censored, it's not deleted. What are you talking about? China is not that bad, you know? So that's what Chinese technology is about, guys. I'm sorry, I'm getting mad. I'm just like, it's just seeing so many people being so obsessed with like Chinese social media apps and everybody's like downloading REDnotes and I'm just like, you guys have no idea what you're dealing with. You guys have no idea who you're helping. Like, you have someone here who was born and raised in this country, seeing how things work, seeing how people deal with each other, seeing how the business and everything operate, and I'm telling you, be really careful. Like, you wanted to get on social media because you feel like you are important, your opinions matter, you know, you have things to say, you have things to contribute to the society, right? But you chose the wrong place, you chose the wrong platform. Like, this is a place with no freedom of speech. Is this really a platform that you want to help to grow? You have to ask yourself this. So please, stop using Chinese apps like Red or REDnote or however you want to call it. It's just the wrong place, it's just the wrong app. You're not gonna be more famous using this app. You're not gonna see more of the world using this app. All you're seeing is an isolated two-man's world. So please, stop using these apps. See you in the next video.